Our next guest is retiring from the Senate as an independent after 42 years in politics. Joining us now, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin. And good to see you, Senator. We've said many times
How y'all doing?
That can't be right. 42 years. We've said that. You're looking.
I started in 1982. I started, Joe. 1982, House of Delegates.
And it's a rough and tumble business. You're looking pretty good, Dorian Gray. You got that picture in the attic. You're welcome. You got that picture in the attic, maybe. So you could do a post-mortem on your old party, the Democrats, on what you think went wrong. I'd almost rather talk about what you're going to do now and whether you're, I know how much you care about this country, and I know you've been in politics a long time, but absolutely no way you're going to end up in the public realm at some point again.
I don't think so, Joe. I've given it 42 years, given it my best. The last 14 years in the Senate, I've tried every way possible to bring both sides together, and did everything I possibly could to dinners on the boat and everything that we've been able to do to bring people together just to know each other. But I think now from the outside I can share my experiences and hopefully guide some people together and work with my daughter, Heather, on Americans Together and how we're able to show the American public that we are one United States. We're not divided, even though the politics and the politicians want you to believe that in Washington. And I want to congratulate President Trump. He's putting some people together, which I think are very competent, very skilled, very good. And you've got to want your president to succeed. And I've said this, if my president succeeds, then our country does well. My country does well. My state's doing well. And I'll do everything I can to help the administration. But you can speak truth to power in the most respectful way. And we've lost that decency, that respectfulness that we should have when we're trying to make things better. If I disagree with you, it's not that you're wrong. There might be another way you should look at things, and it's how you approach it. And I think that's what I've been blessed to be able to have that opportunity to do many times in working people together. You're not always wrong, and you're not always right. Together we can find an answer, and we can both live with that answer. So I'm hoping this administration understands that. Reach out.
Yeah, we don't have much choice, I guess, and to try. I don't know what you think the probability is that there can be some move towards some unity or understanding or whatever. I don't know how optimistic I am. There's always dead enders in both parties that there's just no way.
Sure.
And nothing's learned from elections, and they're dug in. They'll be dug in. And Trump seems to have,
Joe, no.
He's a very divisive figure, and
he can be, but he's very charming at times. I've had both sides of him. I've had both sides. You can work with him. You just got to take your time and sit down and reason with him, and hopefully it gets through. And sometimes it does, and sometimes he has a different idea. Let me just say, Joe, your whole show, Squawk Box, is based around the solvency and the economic might of this great country. I hope that this administration understands the depth of our indebtedness, approaching $36 trillion rapidly, which is it's just unsustainable. Somebody's got to be talking about that. How do you get your financial house in order? Not a word was spoken about that during the campaign on either side. It's almost like it's non-issue. It could be the biggest issue and stumbling block that any administration would have getting their agenda accomplished. But there's a lot of problems we have. The border has been a serious problem from day one. I've spoken to the Democrats about this many times. You better get your house in order there, secure that border. We shouldn't have asylum at the border. And then you have all the different unrest around the world. But also, the Democratic Party, I've been trying to tell them, I said, if you want to know what happened to the Democratic Party, look at West Virginia. We flipped more and faster and further than any state has flipped in one decade, from 75% majority of Democrats to 75-80% majority Republicans. And I was asked one time what happened to the West Virginia Democrats, and I said, they want to know what happened to the Washington Democrats. First of all, now we've done all the heavy lifting, we've worked hard, and now we're not good enough, we're not green enough, we're not smart enough, and I guess you just don't need us anymore. And they left, so they forgot about who brung them. There's an old saying, dance with who brung you. The Democrat Party always protected the worker. That was how we grew up in this, as a lifelong Democrat. It took care of basically having a good job, having a safe place to work, having good benefits, take care of your family. All of a sudden, that wasn't a priority. And when that left, they left, and that's what happened.
You sound, that's similar to what Bernie Sanders had said recently. You think he's right in that assessment?
Well, Bernie, we don't agree on much, Becky, but I agree. I got you.
Senator, I just want to say thank you for always being somebody who was thinking logically about things and not looking down party lines. We've had other senators who have left in the past who sounded kind of similar to what you've been saying, just about your frustration with not being able to get people to work across the aisle. I think back to Senator Judd Gregg, a Republican, or Senator I-W.Va, a Democrat, who both sounded very similar messages when they were leaving the Senate, that it wasn't as civil. I want to thank you for being that voice, and I want to ask you who you think is going to carry on in that tradition with you leaving.
Well, I'm hoping there's others to step up to the plate. As I look back, we had great success working together, Democrats and Republicans, in the 117th Congress. As you recall, 50-50, we decided we wanted to do something. So it gave unordinary opportunities to 5 or 10 of us in the middle. 5 Ds, 5 Rs, we could sit down. We had an ability to move an agenda. And you can either sit there and get nothing done and say it can't happen, or you can do it. We were able to get things accomplished, and we did some great things. What happened, the administration, the Biden administration, took it further than that and tried to basically adopt rules that were not in line or in sync with the bill that we passed. And I'm hoping that the President Trump and his administration can correct some of that. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's some good stuff in there, especially in energy, what was done. Yeah. And if you want to rename it, the Energy Security Act is really what we should be dealing with, energy security for our country. How do we do it and implement it? Also looking for the future, a future of generation of energy, but also meeting the demands of the current economy that we have in the current defense of our country.
Well, Senator,
how do you do it? There's people there.